as you've played? College,
Yeah,
high school?
yeah, that'd probably be the best game I played. Making 2 turnovers and helping the team get a victory.
Have you had a chance to think at all about the perspective of that game and what it meant? I know it's hard right after you guys win it, but beating a BCS conference opponent, beating an in-state rival, just the effects of winning a game like that over an opponent like that, and what it means for this program and this team. Anything else that goes along those lines?
Well, I think it's going to start more of a snowball effect. Uh, you know, USF is obviously they came in with the upper hand. People already felt like that we were going to lose the game. We took it upon ourselves to prepare as best we probably prepared for any game. And then we came out there and played their game and beat them at their own game, which was being physical. And since we out physical them, they kind of, gave in, and that's when we was able to capitalize and get the victory.
Can you think of another game like that where you were able to sort of defeat the will of the other team?
Western Kentucky last year. Last year I felt like, we went in Western Kentucky. We were, of course, underdogs, but we came in and played their game, which was physical, and we beat them at their own game, and like that, we came out with the victory.
You guys played Middle Tennessee early last year, and a less than ideal performance, certainly, looking at the tape. How has this team changed from that point last year to this point now?
Knowing the system. I mean, last year, it was more of a rush to learn the system. We didn't have all the right pieces to the puzzle, and now that we got a year under our belt with the coaches, we were familiar, and now we was able to finally learn the system and play. Now it was more that we can play without having to think about our responsibilities.
What kind of offensive challenge or what kind of defensive challenges does Middle Tennessee present? They will spread it out a lot, but they're a run spread team, which is something that you guys haven't had to face a lot since.
They running back, man. They have a real good running back. I like the running back. They offensive line. But I feel like since we do a lot of rotation on our defensive line, we'll be able to, kind of bring it to them more than they could bring it to us, because our players gonna be fresh. The rotation of just constant rotation and the long drive that they might have to do, they might be tired and wear down, and that's when we could go off their mistakes and make plays.
When it comes to playing a noon game, are you in agreement with Coach Pelini that that's an advantage for this team?
Yeah, we practice in the morning all the time. The heat, I don't think a lot of people are used to the heat and that humidity that South Florida has, and so since we practice in it every day, I think that will be to advantage. We won't be as fatigued. We'll be able to play to the best of our abilities.
Are you guys finally happy, that you're playing the game here and not having to deal with travel and all that?
Yeah, we was tired of travel. Just tired. You coming in back at late, then got to get up early for meetings. So, it takes a wear on your body. But now that we home, it's not going to be that much stress on our bodies.
Were you able to get out into the community yesterday or around campus or anything like that? Were people saying stuff to you?
Oh nah, I don't really like all the attention. So I just try to keep to myself.
The teammates, anybody saying?
Yeah, a lot of the teammates came to me, but that's my family, that's my brothers. So it's different from what on campus might happen, but to them it's just family. So it was more like happy that we was all able to get that victory. It's like it was a team effort. So.
What can we expect from you this Saturday against Middle Tennessee?
Man, honestly, I'm just gonna do my part and play within the system, and then when the opportunity is given, make a plays. That's all we can do. That's what I would coach watch and preach, man. You got to make plays. You practice how you play, and my game time preparation starts tomorrow morning. Well, it started yesterday watching film, but on practice it starts. Not giving up a pass in practice. Stand with the wide receivers when the ball in the air, make plays on it, and then it should turn over to the game.
Knowing that they do have a running attack that will go between the tackles despite putting 3 wide receivers out sometimes, is there an understanding amongst the defensive backs that you guys are going to be one-on-one for the majority of the game?
Yeah, and then, we're going to also have to know that we got to swarm to the ball. That just, we going to eliminate the big plays. So we're going to have to take more responsibility that we're going to have to play our man and also help support in the run.
Coach talked about just getting a win can give you guys confidence in the system. Do you guys feel more confident after you get a win like that?
Yeah, most definitely. Because, most of the time it be missed assignments, not knowing our responsibility and not being quite for sure what our responsibility is within the defense. And I think that when we play at USF, the way we prepare, and it allows us to fly to the ball probably better than we probably ever flew to the ball. It allowed us to play like ourselves and not play so uptight, like, I got to be perfect. I don't know which one I'm going to go, so I'm going to just take my time and be timid. We was able to just be aggressive and aggressive and aggressive. So, learning that system, the way that we learning it, really allowed us to play the way that we play, which is like more free.
Is that the first time that you guys have been able to do that? Certainly this year, but even going into last year, that you guys have felt free enough to be aggressive and just play ball.
Yeah.
Did you take anything away from Middle Tennessee last year, or was it such, on the defensive end, were you guys learning it so much still in the learning process, that it's almost a completely different, it wasn't even you back? You know what I'm saying?
I'm not going to say that. Middle Tennessee came in with a good game plan. They executed well. Like Coach Pelini said, that the quarterback, he was efficient. The running game was efficient. So on their part, they came in prepared. Last year we was more immature. And so our focus wasn't what it was supposed to be. And we didn't really buy into the system like we were supposed to. This year, we're buying into the system. We're understanding that, the coaches know what they're talking about. When you listen and you do what you have to do, that great things happen. So I guess we're a completely different football team, but no, not to discredit Middle Tennessee. They came in well prepared and they beat us.
Obviously, when you've got people in the stands cheering for you, it can help pump you up. But does the opposite happen too? If you're playing a home game, you look up and you see empty seats. Does that affect you?
No, because when you realize, you think about it, it's just you guys on the field. It's just you and your brothers who put that work in during the summer, who was there up 6 o'clock in the morning lifting weights and running on the football field. I mean, fans are a plus. Fans will probably bring a little bit more energy, but overall, I just feel like, honestly, you don't really need no fans. You got, as long as 110 people, me and my brothers on the field, I feel like that's all we need to be successful.
But you'd rather have fans?
I mean, it'd be good to have fans. I'm not gonna lie, but I mean, I got my family, man. It's good. When I have my family, I feel like we could do anything.
Pelini was mentioning that on those screen plays where you come around and sort of hang out from the flat, those are essentially read option plays in a sense for Quetz. He could either run it or throw it. How did you guys build up the chemistry that he feels more comfortable putting the ball in the air, giving it to you on the sideline, and then just running it up the middle? Because he seems a pretty adept runner at getting yards.
Pretty much. He just, we put in extra work on the field, staying after practice, getting a few extra throws when everyone else is walking in. It's basically just a trust issue. He trusts me to catch the ball, which the coaches recruited me for, and I trust him, and our team trusts him to throw the ball to the receivers or whoever, and do whatever he's supposed to do, because that's what we're supposed to do.
How did you see him, I don't want to say mature, but improve from second game of the year to third game of the year, and even first half to second half? Because there seemed to be a lot of throws that he was able to make in the second half of that game that he was missing earlier this year.
I feel like he's just getting confident with the system that Coach Wright is instilling. Pretty much, he's just getting more comfortable. He's getting more comfortable with the game plan. It's not even that he's putting more. I mean, he's putting more work in, but it's just he feels more comfortable to execute what Coach Wright is asking of him, and he's just basically getting comfortable. You need game time experience for you to figure out what you're doing wrong, because the coaches give you certain aspects and certain situations in practice that is either meant for you to fail or meant for you to succeed in. They want you to see certain things in practice. And with him getting game time experience, I think that just basically helps him learn on the run and execute and figure out what he do wrong and what he doesn't.
It's the second year now in Coach Wright's system. Last year's system a little bit different, significantly different in many ways as to what you guys were trying to do this year. What percentage would you say of the offense is usable right now and has been used in games?
I would say all of it can be used. We just do what Coach Bellini said. We take advantage of what the defense gives us, and that's what we try to exploit. Their weakness or whatever they give us, that's what we take advantage of.
How much of a boost and what's the difference in the feeling coming into a home opener, not being 0-3 and having the type of win you had? What do you think that means for the team this week and in the preparation for the first home game?
I think it's big just for the simple fact that everyone gets, the juices is flowing in practice. It's not that we weren't confident, but it's basically blatant now. Like, you can just see like people bouncing around, and I just feel like it'll bring a great week of practice. It gives our fans something to look forward to coming out to the games. If they didn't want to come in before the USF game, this gives them a reason to come now that we beat a BCS opponent.
Have you seen any reaction from the community in the day that you were back?
I mean, I've been to the CAF, couple students, couple members of the cafeteria team. Good job, good win, congratulations. But it's a work in progress. We got to keep working. We can't dwell on the past. It was a good win, but now we have to go get another one against Middle Tennessee State on our home field.
The cafeteria staff that knew what happened, or knew?
No, not really. A lot of them are football fans, like sports fans in general. So like, whenever we win or even if we lose, like, they'll give you a compliment, or they'll be like, tough game or something like that. So it didn't surprise me, but it feels good to hear from someone outside the football family.
I guess you talked to them a lot. Right?
Yeah, I mean, everyone talks to the cafeteria staff. They're friendly, so we're not disrespectful or nothing. Give them a cold shoulder. We give them conversation back, and we're trying to build this campus as a FAU family, no matter what kind of sport it is, football, basketball. We're just, if they don't support us, then who will?
These short passes that you caught a lot of them on Saturday. How do you make it so that those short passes become bigger plays, long passes, or?
I think Coach Wright just wants to get the ball to playmakers. Like, he just wants to get you the ball. If you can run with the ball, if you can do good with the ball, he just wants to get you the ball, no matter which way it is to give it to you. He just wants to get it to you and let you do you, let you be yourself. And for me, it's getting the ball and just, getting yards. Positive play is good in this offense. Anything positive yardage, it's good. So.
Do you like those little short ones, or would you rather be going across the middle and catching one downfield? Or?
Whatever way I can get the ball, pretty much I'm with it. Whatever way I can help this team, I'm all for it. No matter if it's going across the middle, going deep, being a decoy, screen passes, it doesn't matter, just as long as I can help the team win. And I just do my best at what I'm asked to do.
Is the importance of this game noticeable in meetings? I know you've only had a day or two to think about Middle Tennessee State, but getting to 2-2 versus being 1-3 is a pretty stark difference in the season, and it can create vastly different mindsets for the team going forward. Is that something that you guys have mentioned or even considering heading into Saturday?
I mean, every game in this season is an important game. We approach every game with a sense of urgency, like we want to win. But I mean, being 2-2, opening the season 2-2 out of 4 games, I mean that's a accomplishment. But that's not what we came here to play, a 12-game season. So the best out of 12, that's what we're going for.
Is it difficult or is it easy to sort of zone out and do the proverbial one game at a time sort of thing that coaches always talk about? Because obviously, you do play a 12-game season, but you prefer to get your second win this week as opposed to, second to last week of the year. Is it difficult to zone it out and sort of keep into the narrow mindset and not go to a greater perspective? Or
I mean, we know we have a long season, so with the coaches, they give us a game. They don't look forward to, they don't bypass or look past any team. So it's pretty easy to just zone in on one team and figure out what we have to do to exploit that team's weakness. And that's pretty much what we just feed off the coaches. Whatever the coaches ask us to do, that's what we do. And they ask us to focus on one game, one play at a time, so that's what we do. We try to give 100% at one play at a time, one game a week.
what is the game plan loosely against Middle Tennessee State? Where do you guys need to be successful to exploit them?
We haven't really went over the game plan yet as a group or as an offense, but we're going to have a balanced offense. We're going to have to be able to throw the ball and pass the ball. And I have a lot of confidence in our offense and our defense that we'll do our jobs on both sides of the ball.